Every day since I got married, my husband Peter has been quiet and a little shy. When we met, I sometimes thought he was different from others because he never kissed me like other couples. Instead, he would only hug me occasionally. I wanted him to be more romantic and show his love, but he was shy about expressing his thoughts and feelings. When our wedding night finally arrived, I hoped Peter would be different. I thought, maybe he would change his behavior and surprise me with his love, hug me and kiss me deeply, making me feel wanted. But to my disappointment, he did not make a single move on the bed. I felt the tension in the atmosphere and it made me nervous. After a while, I gathered all my strength and decided to make the first move. I leaned over, hoping to ignite the passion between us, and kissed him tenderly. I waited for his response, but instead of kissing me back, Peter looked confused, as if he didn't know what to do. My heart sank as I realized that I had to do everything myself. It was strange and a little lonely, wondering if he was just a weird person who couldn't express his emotions. I loved him very much, but I wanted him to be more affectionate with me. Every day I wanted to share joy and laughter with him more and more, but it felt like I was reaching for something he wasn't ready to give. I hoped that he would open up and let me into his life when he looked at me with love in his eyes and swept me off my feet. I decided to be patient and continue to believe that one day my gentle and shy husband would find the courage to express his love more openly. I had an idea. Maybe an adult video would help him learn to act more confidently and support his wife. I wondered if this would help him understand what I wanted and how to be more affectionate. One evening after a long day, I decided to put my plan into action. I was feeling bold and hopeful. We were lying in bed and I turned to Peter. I said it would be fun if we watched some videos together that could help us both learn more about intimacy. I pulled out my phone and started playing some adult content. Peter looked a little surprised, but he didn't say anything. He just watched, and you could see his body reacting to what he was seeing. I felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness as I watched him. I began to notice something new in him. He just had no experience or knowledge of intimacy. I realized that he was learning along with me, and I hoped that this would be a turning point for us. As the video continued, I felt a spark of hope. This was exactly what we needed to bridge the gap between us. I wanted us to explore our intimacy together and discover new things, connecting on a deeper level. Peter began to relax and engage with what we were watching. There was a sparkle in his eyes, and I thought that maybe we could come out of this experience more intimate. I hoped that this would help us grow closer and create a more loving and passionate relationship. After all, this was a couple who were supposed to be thinking about love and intimacy, and I was determined to help Peter find his way. There was a different vibe between Peter and me that night. I felt complete anticipation, and it seemed like he was ready to take action. It was like a switch had flipped in his head after watching the video together. For the first time, I felt a spark of hope as we cuddled in bed. I noticed Peter leaning closer to me. His eyes were filled with a newfound initiative, something I had been waiting for since we first got married. As he kissed me, I thought of how warm I felt. His kisses became more passionate and gentle. I could tell he was trying to remember everything he had seen in the video. It was a beautiful feeling, and I felt myself responding to him in a way I hadn't done before. Each kiss was gentle but filled with desire, and it made me feel wanted. The moment I moved closer, I saw that Peter had learned to connect better. He was more attentive and gentle, and it felt like we were finally connecting on a deeper level. I couldn't help but smile. Somehow we had rediscovered each other. That night, I felt a doubt that had never existed before. It was such a relief to me to know that Peter was willing to learn and grow with me. I realized that we could grow our relationship together, and it filled me with pleasure in those intimate moments that I knew we were building a stronger connection. I couldn't wait to see how our love story would develop. I hoped that this was just the beginning of many wonderful nights ahead. One sunny day, I was busy in the kitchen, preparing dinner for Peter and me. The warm aroma of spices filled the air, and I could feel my mouth watering as I chopped fresh vegetables and stirred sauce. I was so immersed in my cooking that I didn't hear him enter the room. It was the weekend, and it was nice to have the whole house to myself. As I concentrated on getting everything just right, I suddenly felt Peter wrap his strong arms around my waist. His touch surprised me, and I let out a soft gasp of surprise. "Play, I whisper in your ear," he said, and I heard the smile in his voice. My heart fluttered with joy. I laughed, feeling a rush of happiness from his unexpected playfulness. It was moments like these that reminded me how much I loved him. I pressed my back against him, enjoying the warmth of his body, and joked, "Are you trying to embellish my cooking secrets?" I tried to playfully push him away, but he only held me tighter. "No way. I just wanted to surprise you and see what you make," he replied, holding me close. As we stood there, I felt the love and happiness radiating between us. We realized how nice it is to share small moments with each other, even in the midst of everyday activities. Cooking has always been a joyful activity for me, but having Peter around made it even more special. When he wrapped his arms around me, I felt inspired. I turned my head to look at him, and we smiled sweetly. "Do you like what I'm doing?" I asked, feeling a surge of excitement. In the warmth of our kitchen, I realized how lucky I am to have a husband who can embellish even the simplest moments. I couldn't wait to finish cooking and enjoy a wonderful dinner together, full of laughter and love. After I finished cooking, Peter smiled at me and told me that I had a surprise waiting for me in the bedroom. I felt a surge of happiness and curiosity. I wondered what he was planning. I knew that my husband was usually not very active in the bedroom, so I was curious about what he was cooking. We sat together and chatted, enjoying each other's company. Then, in that tender and sweet moment, he kissed me softly. When I felt his lips on mine, I began to think that maybe he was learning from the video I shared with him. It was a small step, but it gave me hope. After our sweet moment, he took my hand and gently led me to the bedroom. "I want you to close your eyes," he said quietly. His voice was full of excitement. Trusting him, I did as he asked. I tried to guess what he was planning. "Okay, open your eyes," he said. When I did, I was surprised to see Peter standing there. He wrapped his arms around me, and my heart filled with anticipation. I felt wanted and strangely intimate with him. He gently turned me around, and before I knew it, he leaned down and kissed me. The kiss was soft and sweet, making my heart flutter with happiness. I felt the warmth of his love, and in that moment, everything else disappeared. "You really do have a way of surprising me," I said. His cheeks flushed slightly, and I realized that this was a side of him I rarely saw. It was so refreshing. As we stood there, lost in each other, I knew that our relationship was more than just quiet moments. It was full of surprises and love that made every day special. That simple kiss while I was cooking reminded me how lucky I was to have Peter by my side. I couldn't wait to see what other surprises he had in store for us as a couple. As he laid me down on the bed, I thought about how butterflies flutter in life. For the first time, he started by massaging my body. His hands moved with care and love. It was heavenly as he took his time, making sure I felt relaxed and loved. In that moment, everything changed. I saw a confidence in Peter that I hadn't seen before. We were finally connected in the way I had dreamed of since our wedding day. I felt special and valuable. I knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter in our relationship. As he continued his gentle massage, I felt all my anxiety melt away. After a while, he gently turned me over, and I felt a surge of excitement. My body ached to hold him in the way I had always hoped. Peter seemed to transform into a confident partner, and the shy man I had married faded into the background. He was moving with purpose now, and I couldn't contain my joy as we enjoyed each other's company. I felt things growing deeper between us. Every touch and kiss was a delight to me, and I realized how far we had come. My husband was a quick learner, soaking up everything we did together, and with each passing moment we were getting lost in the experience. Laughter and joy filled the air. I felt wanted and loved, and I hoped to see Peter embrace this side of himself. It was more than a new passion. It was as if we were creating a unique connection, dancing together in perfect sync. After this beautiful moment, Peter gently pressed himself lightly against me, and we began to move. Our bodies were in perfect sync. It felt like we were dancing. I never realized that I had never felt this connected to him before, and I could tell that he was enjoying every second as much as I was. His hands gently explored my body, and I felt the love between us grow stronger with each movement. A few weeks passed, and I began to notice some changes in my body. I felt a little different, a little more tired than usual, and soon I realized that I was pregnant. I was so excited about this news, and when I shared it with Peter, his face lit up with joy. He hugged me tightly, whispering sweet words of love and happiness. It was a special moment for both of us. Even during my pregnancy, Peter continued to amaze me with his love and care. He tried to support me in any way he could, was attentive to my needs. It was a joy to have him caring for me and our growing baby. We shared countless sweet moments together, from cuddling on the couch to laughing at the silly things our baby did. During the ultrasound, after a month of waiting and loving, I finally gave birth to our beautiful baby. The moment I held him in my arms, I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness, and Peter stood next to me, beaming with pride and love. Looking at our baby, we were filled with joy and gratitude for the family we had created together. Our marriage blossomed even more as we began a new chapter in our lives. It was a beautiful journey we were destined to share, and I knew that with Peter by our side, my love would only deepen.